What's going on, my beautiful people from YouTube? Let's talk Bitcoin. I want you guys to understand exactly where we are, where we've been, so you have a great idea of where we're going next. And I'm talking about the whole thing here. Let's talk about the cost of mining Bitcoin, how that's changed drastically over the last months, actually. It hasn't even been a year. Things are changing, things are moving, and I want you to know exactly what's taking place. So we're going to talk about cost of Bitcoin. We're going to talk about TA. Let's do a little bit of technical analysis as far as where the price of Bitcoin is, where it's going, where are the supports, and what can we expect in the near future. Number 3, as always, we're going to do that giveaway because I promised you guys in the last video, and I'll be doing that as soon as the Reddits roll. Let's get into this thing because it's big. Bitcoin reached over $19,000 today. It did come back down from that high, but it's not crashing. It wasn't a pump and dump scenario here. We still are going with it, which is a good sign. And I am recording this video on the day before that I'm launching it, so it's a good chance for y'all to see if I'm full of it or if I kind of know what I'm talking about or if we know what we're talking about. Take a look at this right here. Bitcoin miner S19J Pro Plus, $2,379. This is a steal in comparison to where the price of these Bitcoin miners were less than a year ago. I mean, these were going for 10 grand, and not even this version, a version that would mine way less than this, would only mine 100 terahash, not 122. And now the price is way low at, $23.79. This is a great price for a Bitcoin miner if you take in consideration the price potential. Again, not giving you guys financial advice, just telling you what I usually try to do with my money, where I see, the potential being. But this is a really good price for a crypto miner. And I know the big question around this, all right, I spent, let's say $2,300 on a miner. Where does that get me? Where do I go with it? Is it worth it? I got a great little website that put a beautiful chart together that looks like this. And it's all different countries around the globe and shows you how much it costs to mine Bitcoin in all of these places. And we can have a little bit of fun here and kind of zoom into some of these locations. And if we just go to the US just to start out, we're looking at $21,000 to mine a Bitcoin based on the average price of, the electricity here. If you go down, but in the same area, Mexico, right down, south of the border here, $33,800. Guatemala, $40,000. And it gets great and it gets terrible depending where you're really looking into it. If we just zoom in here at South America, we'll just take a trip around the globe and show you what the numbers look like. Paraguay, $13,000. That's pretty darn good for a Bitcoin, right? But you go over to Africa and all these other locations, Ethiopia, banging over there only at $7,000. That's a great price for a Bitcoin, right? Sudan, same idea. Low prices over there, $4,779. How can you beat that? But other places gets a little bit dicey, I guess you can say. Look at Australia, $40,000 for you to be able to mine Bitcoin over there. And I do want to see, a little place here down in South America, Venezuela. Look at that, $246,500 for you to mine a single Bitcoin. Visual Capitalist also has a list that you can search through, and I'll make this a little bit bigger so you can see it better. Kuwait is the best one. It only costs $1,393 for you to mine one Bitcoin. And yes, these rates are a little bit outdated, I have to say, because, this was published back in March and July of 2022. That's where these numbers were coming from. But still, you can get an idea of just how cheap or expensive it really is for you to mine Bitcoin in these different countries. And how does this all work? And I want you to have an understanding because there is a great impact when it comes to cost of electricity around the globe. And I'm going to narrow it down. To do that, I'm going to go over to US Bureau of Labor Statistics. And here's what's going on. They have the average household electricity rate, so you have an understanding of what people are paying around the US. even though it looked good in that chart, you know, because they're probably using the average of 16.5 cents. If you go to where things really are happening, like here at home, if we can just look for, you know, LA, San Diego, look at that, San Diego. The average price here in San Diego is 41 cents. That's not good. That's not good at all. And peak, you know, here we have like time of use. So peak hours are even worse. It goes up to 69 cents in my area, which is just unheard of. And if we use, you know, miner stat to calculate this thing, so this is the S19J Pro, only 100. So we're going to change this to 122. And the power consumption is also different for this one. So the power consumption is 3355. Let me make sure I can do that. 3355. And electricity cost, let's do that 45 cents that they were saying right there. And if we calculate, would you look at that? I can lose almost $25 every day. And that's the best possible price, best, you know, possible marketplace for, you know, Bitcoin. It doesn't make any sense. So you have to have a low cost to be able to make this whole thing worth it. But I digress, because I do want to talk about where the price of Bitcoin is, where it's going, and how all of this is really going to take place. And obviously for TA, you got to put, no, you don't got to put glasses on. You just need to have really good friends that know what the heck they're talking about. So let's switch over to crypto data and get the man online who's going to walk us through the TA for BTC.
And thanks for having me. So today I'm going to tell y'all what I think about Bitcoin and Ethereum, go over some TA and the big levels that you should look out for. So first of all, we're on the 4-hour chart for Bitcoin. Now, I know you see a lot of different indicators on my chart, a lot of lines. I'm going to break those down to make this super simple for y'all. So first of all, these lines are just support and resistance. I'll go over how to chart those on Ethereum in a couple minutes. Next, I have my indicator here. It's a new indicator I haven't released yet called DVO, Dynamic Volume Oscillator. It helps spots tops, as you can see very well. And then below that, I have RSI as well that a lot of people know. Now, I have an account, CryptoScripts, where I make all my indicators. I will release this DVO soon, but let's go ahead and get into the TA. So you can see I have all three EMAs. Now, for anyone who knows TA, EMAs are exponential moving averages, and they are very important for dictating the overall trend of an asset. So you can see here, I have the pink line, which is the 200-day EMA for Bitcoin on the 4-hour. Next, I have the blue line, which is the 100 EMA, and then the 50 is the purple line, 50 EMA.
Hey, buddy, for us dummies, what's EMA?
Yeah, for sure. So EMA is an exponential moving average. So basically, it takes the average of the price over the previous X amount of days and puts more weight into the recent data. So again, you have SMAs as well as EMAs. EMAs people like to use because it does provide more weight to the more recent data. And I like it as well, because again, you knowing how volatile crypto is, you always want to know, have that most recent data to help chart your analysis.
Makes sense.
Yep. So I like to use EMAs, but again, whatever your flavor, experiment with those and see which one you like best. But going over right now where I'm thinking of Bitcoin. So again, we've had some crazy movement the past 24 hours, and Bitcoin skyrocketed from over 17.3 to over $19,000. And right now I'm going to go over exactly where I think we're going. So you can see I had a lot of resistance levels that have turned support. And the biggest one here was this 200-day EMA that it did act as resistance for the past couple of weeks. And then once Bitcoin flipped it, it then acted as support and then skyrocketed off it. Now, looking at our oscillators here, so the DVO, we can see it is starting to get overbought. Now, again, last time I got overbought, Bitcoin was around this 18,000 level in December before tanking all the way to 16.3. Now,
so what's that DVO?
Yeah, definitely. So DVO is my dynamic volume oscillator, and it takes into account volume as a main metric as well as momentum to really get if this is a true, basically uptrend or downtrend. And really it's better than RSI because it takes into account volume and momentum, and it's kind of the truth data, So it actually takes into account those two factors to really help people see the overall trend and when it's going to reverse. So that's why I love it. And that's why I created it, because as you can see, it's called the tops very, very well, just on the 4-hour here and various timeframes as well, which I can show later on. But it's an indicator I love. And again, for anyone who hasn't used volume, volume is a huge metric and one of the very few metrics I always use whenever I'm using my TA.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, talking about volume, that definitely shows that something is about to happen or not going to move forward at all, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it helps you kind of filter through all the noise and really see exactly what's happening. So right now, again, this DVO is starting to get overbought, but one of the things I want to mention is the last time Bitcoin had this pump, it was at about 16.7 and it pumps all the way up to 18,000. But you can see this DVO indicator actually just kind of spiked up. There wasn't really any climb. Whereas over the past couple of weeks, it's kind of stair-stepped up. So we call that accumulation. So the accumulation, there's different phases in crypto and really just TA. And the accumulation phase is what you want to look for before big moves upward. So we can see there was a lot of accumulation, continuous stair step upward over the past couple of weeks. And then we had this jump. Okay. So that's very different versus just having an initial jump. Because of course, if you have an initial jump, you're going to have an initial dump. So the fact that we have the stair step is why I think that this rally will be sustained. Not saying we're going to, we won't pull back. I definitely think we'll pull back, but I do think we will continue this pump at least for a couple more days, if not weeks, before having a major pullback, pending any, CPI, FOMC numbers, anything crazy that happens on the global side and of the economy. That I think that this is definitely a healthy pump as we've had.
And when you say healthy pump, I'm not shorting it today or tomorrow. Is that what you mean by the healthy pump?
Yeah, I would say that if you shorted this right now, it would definitely, the risk to reward is technically there because again, indicators are extremely overbought now. But with that said, we have been accumulating for so long that I think this pump will be sustained for a little while longer versus just being a quick scam pump at a lot of that we've had recently in the past.
And as far as support goes, I see a couple of support lines. Does that mean it's going to go back to that support line, or is there room for it to go up before it comes back down?
Yeah, definitely. So usually what I like to do, and I recommend this for anyone, is you always want to buy on pullbacks. You never want to buy on the pump. Now, there are some breakout indications I'm going to go over on Ethereum of trend lines that would be good to buy in a breakout. But generally, you have these support levels, which previously they acted as resistance. So if we zoom all the way out here, you can see that back in October of 2022, this 18,700 level acted as support, then acted as support October 21st, and then resistance on November 8th. Okay, I'll zoom in so y'all can see that. And then finally, now we broke above it, and now I'm looking for this to act as support. So I would start to dollar cost average DCA at 18,700. And then we can next look at this 18,200 level, because again, the way TA works, you can see that right when it went up to about 18.1, 18.2, that's where it broke to the downside previously. But now this line actually is going to act as support. So that's why TA, I love it so much, because you can see in real time when it broke this level that was so imperative, December 14th, that then it acted as support and caused the next pump of over $1,000. So long story short, I would look to DCA at 18.7 and then the next support at 18,000. And finally, you could also have an order at 17,600. So these would all be healthy levels to reset because we're looking at the RSI again. It is very overbought. There is, you can see a bearish divergence forming, which is another TA term that I know a lot of people might not know, but basically a bearish divergence is when you have a lower high on RSI, but then you have a higher high on price. Okay, so a lot of people use divergences as well in TA, and that's something to always look out for. But if RSI keeps climbing to the upside, then again, this pump is definitely sustained, and I think we are going a lot higher. Now,
awesome. I mean, going a lot higher, it sounds good every time anybody says it to me, I'll tell you that. But what else is going on? What else you got over there?
Yeah, definitely. So real quick, before we go to Ethereum, I just want to mention the resistance levels I'm looking out for. So this 21.3 level is a huge level to watch. And you can see, because the last time we hit this level was November 4th. So over 2 months ago. And you can see we dropped all the way from 21.3 down to 15,000. So this 21.3 level is huge. And actually, if you look, there's really no support. It just falls. And it's actually more it's actually more clear on the daily. So I'm going to go to the daily real quick. I'm going to erase these text boxes so you can actually see this a little bit clearer. But you can see that whenever we had Bitcoin falling, that you can see these red candles here, they just 3 candles and it was already below 18.7. So that's why I think, you know, there's really not much resistance up here because there was never any support, okay? That's the thing you have to look out for is when you're plotting support resistance, was there previous resistance or previous support? No? Okay, that means there's no previous resistance because resistance acts as support and vice versa.
So that means that that's where I want to short because it could go either way and I'd, you know, either get out,
correct,
count my losses or stay in and buy some more and enjoy the pump.
Exactly. So this is where I'm looking to short 21.3. And you can see even this 200-day moving average, remember we talked about EMAs being important on the daily, is around this 21,000 level. So you may want to even front run this and start to short, you know, around 20,800, 20,900, because there will be people looking to short this big level because we've already passed the 50-day and the 100-day EMA on the daily. So again, this 200 days is the next target we want to look out for.
Got it. And we talked about you taking a look at Ethereum for a very important reason, which is how do you get started looking at charts and understanding what the heck is actually going on? Because it can look super, super intimidating for everybody out there. And it doesn't have to be, right?
100%. 100%. And that's the biggest thing is you always want to know important levels to look out for. And that while TA, you may have a lot of lines like this and it may look super intimidating, TA is really not that hard. And I'll show you how you can have a fully fledged chart with trend lines and support in less than a minute. So let's go ahead and real quick do that. So first thing I do is go on the daily chart. A higher time frame is always best. And I real quick look at levels where there's huge reversals. Okay, so right here, and I use Alt H. It's a shortcut on TradingView, and it plots a horizontal line. I'm going to plot that, the next reversal right here, and you want to look for multiple touches. Okay, there are multiple touches there, and then for the bottom part, okay, there are 3 touches on the bottom here, and then there's a few right here, and then right here. And then you want to look resistances. Again, there are a few resistance right here. And basically, that's it. So those were your resistance levels. And I'm doing them here because, again, we still have all these to break through. So I'm not going to do everything. But this is the gist of what you want to look out for. And then also trend lines. Trend lines are always best on longer time frames, such as the daily or even weekly. So for now, I'll just go over the daily and talk about that. So trend lines are anytime you can draw a trend line. And basically, again, these are at huge inflection points, huge reversal points. And from there, you can just draw those and then kind of include the wick if you want as well. This is a little trend tool. So if you go to TradingView and you scroll down, it's the parallel channel. So you can click that and you can actually widen it to create a little channel there. But this is acting as resistance. And you can see we broke out above that. And you can even stretch it out even further. And you can bring it all the way back to April 4th, where you had this huge reversal, and then drag that all the way down. And you can see right there, I'll go ahead and zoom in for y'all so you can see that. So you can see right here, act as resistance, and then this level acted as resistance. And then if we continue that line, it acted as resistance as well. So these trend lines, same as support and resistance, you want to look for multiple touches, okay? So now we already have our chart, and we can see why people started buying because it broke these long-term trend lines. And that's really when we actually started this bull market. It wasn't over here, it wasn't over here, it wasn't even down here. It was when we broke these long-term trend lines, that's what you want to look out for. So right now for Ethereum, we can see what's our next big level of resistance action.
Next resistance is going to be that 1650.
Yep, 1650. Now, there is always micro resistance levels. Okay, so you have your macro, micro, and you can actually go down to the smaller time frames like the 4-hour and really break it down. So I'm going to take out these trend lines so you can see a little bit clearer. So,
you didn't tell me there was going to be a test.
Oh, right. I know. I mean, if this is a multiple choice question, just be ready at the end. There's going to be a quick quiz. So make sure you've been taking your notes.
Love it.
Oh, but we can see here, you can see that there is places where it's reversed on these smaller time frames. So if you're just looking at this, and I'm just going to spread out the chart so you can see all these here. What's a level you can see where we've reversed?
From what time frame to what time frame?
I would say on the 4-hour here. So on the 4-hour, you can see this level. Would you say right around this 1480 level is kind of the next big resistance point that we've had? Because it was support.
If you're looking that far back, yeah.
Yep, exactly. So if you take it all the way back, and you can even also put a horizontal line here, that all the way in September, when it bounced off of this 14,090 level, and then it acted as resistance on October 25th, then it acted as support here on October 28th. And right now you can see that this is really the next big level of resistance because it just went straight down after that. So really looking at Ethereum here, again, we've gone all the way up to 14, almost 40. I would say the next good level to short would be between 1480 to 1490. And that's also the biggest thing you want to do is create these levels. So there's always ranges when you're doing support resistance. So again, because it may not always reach your range. So you always want to look at the wicks as well, see how far down it's gotten, how much it's wicked below it in the past, and then look at to short that for the future. So really, I would actually be looking at between 1480 and 1490 for shorting.
So not that difficult to do TA, you just need a really big monitor.
Yeah, exactly, right? 27-inch monitor does wonders. Who would have thought?
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, so just everybody out there, Crypto Data has an awesome YouTube channel. Make sure you go check him out. I'm going to put a card that way you guys can find him easily. But do you cover anything other than crypto? Is crypto your thing?
Yeah, actually, I do have started recently covering stocks because those have been big in the news, specifically Tesla. When Elon Musk became CEO of Twitter, a lot of people started focusing on the Tesla stock. And that's actually one that I've used and I've charted. And the weekly chart, I've used a lot of SR lines and basically found some really cool stuff with it that I'll be glad to go over in another video.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. And some of these things, these trends that you're putting together is available on your TradingView account. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah. If you go to CryptoScripts, so just go to TradingView, type in CryptoScripts, and this is my account. Almost have 1,000 followers. Have a lot of indicators that I've released as well. Some are free, some are paid. Again, just DM me, and I can help get you set up with those. I'm actually creating a website very soon. I'm going to have a trading bot, a couple trading bots I'm working on, and again, I will release this DVO indicator very, very soon. So definitely be on the lookout for that, as well as a couple more that's going to have these crazy visuals as well that I'm sure y'all will like.
I love it. That sounds great, buddy. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you giving me the time and going over this stuff with me.
Hey, thank you, Action. Appreciate it. And yeah, definitely everyone, if you're not subscribed to Action, please do so. He's an awesome guy. Love his videos. And thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And thank you to all the viewers.
That was Crypto Data, the man, the legend. Anytime I got TA questions, that is my go-to dude. Make sure you show him some love and subscribe to his channel because he's got great stuff going on over there. But here we are. You're buying Bitcoin, you're shorting Bitcoin, whatever it is you're doing, make good decisions. Try, if you can just be on the green, I am going to be thrilled for all of you because that's a goal, right? It doesn't matter if you're not making as much as somebody else, as long as you're making something. That's the way I try to look at it because everyone will tell you to be greedy and stay in as long as possible. Not always worth it. Listen to what we were talking about. It's not financial advice. It's what we do. It's dollar cost averaging, buying in when, the price is good, making sure that you're making decisions that are going to benefit you long term. That's why I create videos. That's why I'm telling you about all the cool stuff that BITMAIN is putting out, why I'm talking about the price of Bitcoin, and why I'm going to do a drawing right after I roll these credits. See you on the other side. And this is the video. We are talking about the giveaway. Yeah, pretty cool little video. It was only 11 hours ago, but I got to draw somebody because I want to make sure you guys know what's going on with the price of BTC because people were telling me that it was going to crash and tumble and they were shorting at 19.9. I was making jokes about that myself as well, but that's besides the point. Let's draw somebody here. I already got all the things put in, even the math, because I don't want to be embarrassed to do the math in front of you. Here we go. Grabe, good dude. I'm saving fraction mining Kadena NFT. All right, I'll tell you guys, fraction mining with Kadena. Yes, fraction mining right now allows you to mine Bitcoin at lower cost because they have really cool rates because of Flare powering their miners with. It's the way to go. Like I got a bunch of those and I highly recommend you guys check them out. fractionmining.com. You won't be disappointed. Bunch of cool YouTube peoples on there as well. Yeah, make sure you check those guys out. But Rabe, dude, super pumped. I'm gonna send you a bowl. I should do another bowl for this video too. Here's let's do a hashtag for this video. So make sure you guys actually let's make it even more fun. Within Here I go again, right? This is what happens after we roll the credits, but it's a good time. Make sure you include a fruit, name of any fruit in your comment. I'm not even joking. This is going to be awesome. Put a fruit name inside of your comment, and I will make sure that the giveaway will only go to one of the people that put a fruit name inside of their comments. I am going to leave it here. I don't want to make it longer than it has to be because I have to go record an interview with somebody really cool for, I'm still working on the name, for this segment, but I think it's going to be People in Action. I think that works out really well. Sharing with you guys people that are doing really awesome things and what they did to get there. Still brainstorming the name there, but interview is taking place and don't have a watch, but like now I need to go get ready for that. So you guys are great. I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you leave a comment, share the video with somebody. And yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out. It's been awesome. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care.
Hey, thank you, Action. Appreciate it. And yeah, definitely everyone, if you're not subscribed to Action, please do so. He's an awesome guy. Love his videos. And thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And thank you to all the viewers.
Funny story, my camera stopped at literally 30 seconds ago. So I'm going to have to do some improvisation as far as editing goes.
It's all good.
I'm going to make it work. It's all good.
Nice.